Good morning everybody and welcome back to the Southern Cross Station. I have no idea why I said that so quickly, but I'm going to calm down now. We're going to get into this. The expenses are quite high. It doesn't really bother me, mainly because we actually do have quite a high income as well, although it's not at the same time. So midnight we always have a very large expense with absolutely no income at all, but when we sell the wool we get an absolute fortune. For example, in the previous video at the end, it was brilliant, really, really good. So it just depends where you look at it, really. Every day, we potentially lose money, but every week, we gain quite a bit of money, which is good. Anyway, as you'll know, we can't do a great deal because we're actually still waiting for the soybeans to be ready, and that's not until the end of autumn. We're also waiting for the planting period to be upon us for the canola, barley and wheat. We can do canola very soon, which is good, in the next day. So it is just this episode really where we have nothing to do with the arable side of things to do. I will just check the animals first of all. We also do have this chart which many people say, oh, you keep overlooking it and stuff, but actually I do check it off screen. But yeah, here it is. You can see the different crop types, when the best time is to sell and all that kind of stuff, or the predicted time to sell. As you can see, the soybeans, when we come to harvest around here, we really don't want to be selling them straight away. We want to be waiting until the next year to get a really good price. It's predicted to be pretty good around there. The same with everything else actually. It really does do the same sort of thing at different times of year. There are a few which are flat rate. Wool, I've just had a good price actually for wool, but it obviously wasn't as good as it could have been. I think, was it silage? Yeah, it's fairly flat really, it's very even. I mean, look at these are all the same. But anyway, let's get cracking. What we need to do is go over to the bee field, the beehive field, and we need to move the beehives out of the way, because no doubt overnight Mr. Happy and Mr. Enthusiastic, same person, has been producing a lot of beehives to put in the bee houses. So we might as well do that. We'll go and throw them in there, get them out of his way, because if they're in his way, he'll stop. The enthusiasm just completely drops off. So we can't have them left there, because it'll turn from Mr. Enthusiastic to Mr. Angry. And, well, you do not want to see Mr. Angry. Here we are. We've still got lots of wood here, so if we can pick this up, some of them are too heavy. This one's alright. We'll throw this into there as well if it's required at this stage. Let's just move this first. Oh, yep, he is not going to be happy. Let's just put this over here. Always drop that when we fall off. Always. If we put it into here, it will start to produce honey. There we go. And it will have bees the other side. At least it used to. Come on, bees. Maybe they have to find it first. Yeah, it would be a bit weird if they just automatically appeared. Well, we'll go back to that in a minute or two. Hopefully they are going to appear. Sorry, I've left a massive log in your doorway. Get to work. It looks like he did take a break for the night, actually. Most likely because of the beehive being there. Oh, progress. Progress! We have bees! Here they are! The bees are here! But they're only coming out of one hive, which is understandable. So I would have thought although that's going very quickly, this will go much faster, I'd have thought, with many beehives in each one. It's going to take a while to fill each one, but it's a long-term thing. We can just keep it going. So I need to get rid of this log here. It's too heavy to pick up. We can pick up this one here. In fact, we'll just throw that over there. But this one here, too heavy. Going to have to cut it down, so we'll just cut it in half. I'm hoping that when it is cut in half, we will be able to throw each half over there, although it may still be too heavy. Well, this one we can move. Oh, it's a bit of a lump though. That's weird, you'd have thought the other one would have been heavier. This must be right on the limit. If I can just cut the edge off. Cut that there. That should do it. Yeah. Still very heavy though. If you try and throw it by pressing the right mouse button, it doesn't go anywhere. But as soon as possible, they can go into there. We'll just throw them over there. Can't really throw that. Oh, sorry, I almost hit him. But I've always liked this mod. I think it's very well done. It's never had any glitches. It's always worked really well from day one, which is fantastic. Oh, he took those. Will he take this one? Yep. Gets rid of the small ones at least. But this one here is, well, these two here are just a bit too big. They will be taken very soon, but it will take a while. So, yep, that one's being produced. That's good. This is all working here. Already 11 litres of honey, which, no, it can't be litres. That's loads. That is a lot of honey. No idea. Not quite sure what sort of unit that is in. But I'm just going to take it as good. It's a good measurement. It's probably only about £2 worth. 2 Great British pounds, or it should be in dollars, sorry. About $2 worth. Although there was absolutely no currency conversion there at all. I'm just sort of sticking with the same number. It makes it easier. But there he is with his beehive. He's over there sorting it out. We can probably take this away now. We don't need to be here with this. We've delivered the wood. Should last him a lifetime. So what we do need to do actually is bring a forklift over. Actually, yeah, we did need a trailer. Well, what we need to do... Sorry, I'm just getting a bit turned around here. What we'll do is the trailer at the back. I'll take those two things off there. We've got the netting and the wrapping and stuff for the baler. We'll take those off, and then we'll take that back over there and leave that with him. And then we can keep this trailer over at the sheep. We can load this trailer up with wool over time, not today. And then we can go back over there again afterwards. We can have a massive load to take to the sell points when we come to do that. What I'll do is I'll probably put the honey sell point at the same place as the wool, just to make it easier. And that will also save diesel, because we have to keep travelling around, you know, going between different places. Anyway, we need to get back over there. So, let's go around here. I've taken the wrong turning, but it's just over here. There's the other Mack, just over there. It should be okay to stay there for the time being. But these fields here will be drilled as well, with probably canola actually. Should be easy and fast to do. So, yeah, number one, the back trailer we'll call it. That can go over here. Where's the telehandler? I need to get the forks. Take these additives and whatever they are off. I think the additive is actually in the Hilux. These are just the wraps, the foil and whatever it calls it. So I'll put it there. And, sorry, I had to just think, where have I put the telehandler? I don't know. It won't be far. It will not be far at all. Okay, bear with me. It was far. It was all the way over here. We were loading the trees up in the previous video. Well, let's just take those things off, like I say, sort things out. The trees have not grown, but yes, as I've been told, it's going to be probably a year, which is realistic. Even in a year, even after the first year's growth, they're still going to be very small. So it's probably actually going to be faster than it should be. But for farming simulator purposes, that is way too slow for us. But I like that it does it. I like that Seasons does that. It's just, as this is a YouTube series, I can't really afford to spend years on the same map. As much as I'd love to, it would just take too long. Unless I had each season set to 2 days or 1 day or something. I think it's 1, 3, 6, 9, 12. I may be wrong there. I'm pretty sure you can have a season as 1 day. I think you can. Anyway, let's just put these here. And we'll put the other one with it. Luckily, there's no rain due, I don't think. There's nothing forecast. Nope, that's great. So we don't have to worry about them getting wet. Just boom out. Oh, it's strapped on. That strap must be close enough to it to actually hold it in place. There we go. Okay. Right, that's probably going to fall off. But please don't fall off. There's me begging something which is hanging off the tip of a tine not to fall off. Although it didn't do. It's good to see. Until the end, it kind of did. Right, so yeah, we need a forklift. I think probably a skid steer or something over there, to be honest. This is perfect for here. We need this in the yard. It's just way too big anyway for moving a few honey pallets around. Yeah, we'll take this over there. We'll come back and drop off the truck with the other trailer. And then we're going to have to sort out some form of forklift or something like that before I use that other forklift, which I think I actually have enabled on here. I think I do. Failing that, we'll find something else. I don't really want to use the base game equipment because it might be a bit expensive. I'm fairly sure we do have some cheaper mods, which is ideal. It's perfect if we can use something cheaper. Because although we're doing alright for money, I don't want to be throwing money out the window. Otherwise we won't even make a profit on the honey. And yeah, if we can just buy a really cheap used forklift, that would be fantastic. So this is the track. I always get a bit turned around here. This is the track which goes to our honey field, or the bee field. Somewhere over here we pulled out. Let's just see. Yep. Straight to the yard, in fact. We're going to call it a yard. I've turned it into one, really. The only other alternative would have been to put everything into the shed, which I could have done. I could have just stacked them in there, but it is much nicer to load it as we go. So we'll put it under here anyway, but yeah, we'll drop off the trailer. There we go. Good. Right. We're getting on nicely. Only 10 o'clock. Usually I look at the time and it's absolutely flown by, and it'll be time to end the video. So time is on our side today. I suppose we're not doing any time lapses, which is what really does eat up most of the video anyway. If I have to do that, all the time in the game and all the time in the video just gets eaten up by time lapses. So I do like doing them, and they're very good for still showing what I've done instead of just jump cutting. But if it's a day when I have to do time lapses, usually it just takes the entire day. So it just feels a bit more productive in one of these videos. Even though it isn't, I actually do probably more in a time-lapse video. Flying around the yard in our Mack. It's just too tempting. So we'll put it over here, and that'll be that done. It'll then be just a case of going over to the store. In fact, I might even be able to reverse this in. Oh, it's a bit of a drop. We might get away with it. Oh, it's going to hit the diesel tank. Okay, kind of. Probably not recommended. I wonder what it's for. Is it just to take surface water off the yard? I have no idea. This could do with being undercover, really. So we'll put it here, just partially inside, because we still need to get things into there. Okay, so shall we take no, we'll take the Hilux. In fact, I still need to unload the Hilux. Let's do that first. Let's just run over here. Open the tailgate. Should open, there we go. This is the additive, I think, for the silage. Unless it's just a liquid manure, sorry, a liquid fertilizer IBC. I don't think it is though. I've just elapsed time, how annoying. I always do that, I always crouch while doing that and it skips time. I really need to change the control. Luckily, it isn't going to matter, because we only have a handful of things to do today anyway. Whereas tomorrow, it's going to be full on. Back to busy. Very busy. Plenty of drilling to do. Fertilising. And yes, it's going to have to be single stage fertilising, because otherwise we're not going to be able to do it. Just way too many fields to do. Okay, so we'll leave that there. Get back into the 4x4. I could check the store first of all, but I'm not going to. We'll speak to a salesman or woman first and see exactly what they have in stock. You never know, they might do us a deal. Hopefully they do, but if they don't, it's not the end of the world. Such a nice vehicle. Really nice. The thing I found about Hiluxes is they differentiate so much between the different countries they're sold in. They all overall look the same, but the choice of features and the styling varies so much from country to country. And in fact, the 2.8 isn't even sold in the UK. It's just the 2.4, I think it is. So this is probably the Australian, or yeah, probably the Australian one. Okay, so here we are. We are looking for a forklift, Mr. or Mrs. Salesperson. What do you have? You have skid steers. You have telehandlers. Good, but that's not cheap enough. We need cheaper stuff. Oh, you have the old JCB. Still expensive though. Still very expensive. I don't know. Let me just think about this. I'm gonna have to ask them in more detail. Hey, that's interesting. I've never actually used that, I don't think. It came with the Platinum Edition, but yeah, I can't remember ever using it. I've never really found the need. Aha! They do have something. They have the Clark C80D. $28,000, which again is not exactly cheap. How did I get here? Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, it's not exactly cheap, but it will do. It comes with the fork, so we don't have to buy anything else, which is good. We actually do have some samplings there, which is unusual. But there's only us here, so we're going to have to park the Hilux up. We can't really afford to leave it in the middle of the yard. It's going to be crashed into. We'll put it between here. There we go, and yeah, I have to come back for it another time. In the meantime, we have this fantastic machine. Ah yes, very good. So eventually, we're going to be able to start moving these pallets out of the way. In fact, I should think if we get back over to the bee field, there's going to be another beehive ready to move. Which will be good, because the more we have, hopefully the better it'll be. Regarding the petrol station prices, apparently it's most likely the US dollars for fuel per gallon, so not per litre. In the UK and possibly in Australia, it's done by the litre, but many have said that in the US it's charged by the gallon, so that would explain that. So thank you to everybody who did shed some light on that. Very helpful, because yeah, those prices, if they were per litre, were like 3 times the price of what it should be. I did just turn into there, but actually thinking about it, is there a quicker way? This is our opportunity to explore a bit, because we don't have the time on future episodes. If we were to go up here, possibly. Yes, I think if we took this road here, we would eventually end up at the correct field. Obviously we have to take a detour at some point. My little forest just over there. It's the forest which we put in very quickly at the end of the, or in the middle of the previous episode. Very handy to have it though. Without the trees we really couldn't do the beehives, and we really have to do them to be able to make the honey. Because without the bees, you've got no honey basically, as I'm sure you're aware. But yeah, if we keep just going down here, we should eventually come across the right turning. I've never understood that. The last truck on that train is always over the crossing. I suppose you always have to go in this one over here. They are actually surprisingly long trains. In fact, are they longer than on Goldcrest Valley? They look to be. I'm not sure if it's possible to make them longer or not. And it's actually censored these barriers, which is hard to believe. Do not try and sit at home. Although, yeah, you probably wouldn't be at home doing that. Do not try that ever. Never go across a crossing with the barriers down. I actually saw a video not so long ago. It was filmed by some enthusiast, and basically some barriers got stuck down. There was no train coming, but obviously nobody knew if it was coming or not. I think it was stuck down for 45 minutes. So everybody, actually no, not everybody, most people waited for 45 minutes. You can imagine the traffic jam which accumulated until they just randomly were put up. I'm assuming an operator somewhere away from the crossing spotted it all on CCTV or something, or somebody rang up. Nobody arrived on site, but yes, the traffic which built up was incredible, but they waited for 45 minutes for a train that never came. It was a quiet line, so there were barely any trains anyway. No train came in the 45 minutes, except for, I think actually, it might have been the train which triggered its go up again. I'm not entirely sure how they work. But yes, they went up and then they went down. And then a train came and they went up and it was all fine again. So weird. But yes, some people did actually risk their lives and they did cross when the barriers were down. Although, yeah, you've been sat there all that time and chances are nothing will be coming. I wouldn't fancy doing it, and yes, it's kind of a foolish thing to do. Because you just never know. Your luck might run out, and in the split second that you're crossing, a train could come. So yeah, I don't know why things like that happen. But yeah, I know what would happen. If it happened in front of me in real life, I would wait. I would just, you know... I mean, 45 minutes is much more... It's just easier, isn't it, just to spend 45 minutes than to risk your life. It's... You know... I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It's just not worth it. Anyway, here we are. We've moved the hive. I went off on a bit of a tangent then. But he's doing everything he should be doing. Everything's looking good. We could get more started, actually. I could have put that hive in another house, but I don't think it would have any kind of benefit. Is that full? I don't know. I've moved it now, though. There's me thinking that you have to use... Oh, I see. I know what we're doing. Yeah, there's two different types. I thought I'd bought the other one, actually. Click onto here. You'll see. This is one. This is another one. This one says this is for handwork. So, yeah, you pick them up. I thought I had put the other one down, but obviously I didn't. But that's fine. It's fine. We have created a forklift for nothing. Or we bought a forklift for nothing. Yeah, if we'd built it, that would be something. But actually, we could still use this to our benefit. We could transport them from over there to over here. On the tines. If they're close enough. Come on. Sure, we could do this. There we go. If we close them right up, then if we leave it over here, we can move them to the trailer. I know it seems a bit pointless now looking at it. I thought they were the pallets, but yeah, I've just messed up as usual. But we'll leave it there. And actually, in a future video, what we're going to have to do probably is bring a flail into here, tidy this grass up. It's a bit of a mess. We could do with a bit of a neater yard. But yeah, I think that is the bees all done. The animals, I think, were okay. Let's just check. Absolutely fine. So, I can't think of anything else that needs to be done. This day might as well just drift away. We'll wait for the next day. So on that fairly abrupt and disappointing ending, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. In the next video we're going to be planting the canola. Lots of drilling, lots to be done, and yeah, after that we'll be doing the soybean harvest and putting the wheat and barley in as well. But that's all for another day. See you again soon. Bye for now.